Thanks for tuning in to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the Lamborghini Urus. And for those of you that like it, now I know some of you are going to hate it, say bad things about it, but let's be honest, some of us are going to like it. So there's going to be people that are for the vehicle and there's going to be people that don't like it. But no matter which side you're on, let me know down in the comments below. Do you like the car? Is it your dream car? What do you think? And what would you prefer if you don't like the Urus? Just let me know down there in the comments below. I am going to share my screen. We're going to go on Auto Trader and we're going to see from 2019 to 24, and we're going to look at the prices. We're going to compare them, see how much has gone down, because the Lamborghini Urus has dropped down in price a little bit. So I wanted to talk about it. Now, all we know that the Urus is a really expensive vehicle. So before I share the screen, I wanted to say, if that's your dream car, or maybe it's a Range Rover or something else, no matter what it is, it's important to think of getting some additional sources of income. So hopefully you can get to your dream one day. So one of the things that I do to make additional source of income outside of my 9 to 5 is Toro. It's Turo. What it is a car sharing platform. I rent out my cars on there to other people that need them, and it's another source of income. Also, it's important, if you do make other sources of income and you're able to save, you want to make your savings work for you, make it grow as much as you can. And that's when I would say think about investing in the stock market. Now, maybe investing in the stock market is not for you. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just talking about what I do. So I will have two brokerage accounts. One of them is Fidelity, the other one's Mumu. I'm going to put all this in the description box. So if you're thinking about opening up a brokerage account, go ahead and click the link, check it out. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you're wondering what I use for Toro, because maybe you're a Toro host or you're thinking about joining, go ahead and check out the description box. Everything I use for Toro for the cars that I have on there, sharing them, like the lockbox that I put the keys in when someone's going to pick up the car. I have it on there, the no smoking stickers, my cleaning products, all that description box. So check it out. It could help you if you are thinking about starting Toro, or even if you're already on Toro. But now let's get into the video. We're going to be talking about the Urus. I'm going to share the screen. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. So one of my favorite websites, I'm not sponsored by them. I wish, right? But I'm not sponsored by them. It's just the website I use to check out cars. When you go on the page, if you haven't been on there before, even if you have, you might not know about this. Go on the advanced search. The reason I like that is it gives me more options. So you can put in your zip code and how far you're willing to travel. In this case, I'm going to put 300 miles. That's a good distance. We're going to get a good amount of vehicles available. Now for price, I'm not going to put a maximum. I'm not going to put a minimum. That way we could see the different prices and get a good idea ballpark at what we're looking at. But I do want to find the cheapest and kind of see where the most expensive ones are going for, which I'm pretty sure they're going to be over 300,000. I'm sure we'll find the lowest somewhere under the 200, but I want to get a more specific number for you within the range I put. Now, the Urus did come out in 2019. It's had some small facelift, nothing major, and that came out in 23 and I believe in 24. But if you are in a situation, you're watching this video to get a vehicle like this, you might be thinking, well, should you get the 19 or should you get the 23? In my opinion, it's going to be all about the savings. So let's see the gap. Let's see how much you save by getting the older model versus the newer one. Because again, the only people that are really going to notice the difference are going to be car people. If you're just driving this down the road with people, that don't know that much about the cars, they're just going to say, oh, wow, it's a Lamborghini. They're not going to really notice probably the small changes between 19 and a 23. That's my opinion, though. Let me know what you think. Now, let's do this. Lamborghini Urus. Here we go. Now we'll see what pops up. All right, boom. So we got a few that popped up. We got 172 results within the range I put, the 300-mile range. And you can see that the prices are going to be all over the place because each one's going to have more options and things like that. So we got a 21 right there at the 200,000 mark. Obviously, you want to check the Carfax and things like that because that's going to be important. And this one's had a recent price drop. Then you got the 2022 here for 260. and then you got another 2022 for 225. Big difference here, but this might be a special one. That's why it's a lot more. But let's compare the prices. So we got another 22 for so this red one, just from starting off, might not be a bad price for the type of vehicle. I know it's expensive, but I'm saying for where the market is, just looking at it, might not be a bad one. 2020, we're under 200, and that's what I want to see. I want to see how many are under 200,000. Now, one thing I'm going to point out, here's a pretty fixed up one. It has a wide body kit, the rims, all that. When you buy a car, fixing it up, you got to look at it that you're just doing it for your own enjoyment. A lot of times when you add accessories like rims or wide body kit in this example, things like that, you usually don't make any money off that. You're going to lose the money when you go sell the car or get rid of it. So if you're thinking you're going to do this and make some type of profit, most likely you're not. There may be some people out there that have been able to do that, but the majority of us, we're going to take a hit. So it's just pleasure. Hey, I'm into cars. I like customizing them, but most likely you're going to take a big hit, especially on the higher end the car is, in my opinion, from the research I've seen. But here we go. We got a 2019 under 200. Now, I love to know, because for me, I wouldn't do this, but this car is 200,000 basically, has about almost 40,000 miles. Would you pay that much? I would not. So the Lamborghini Urus, in my opinion, really does hold its value. It does a good job. Because if this was like a Bentley Bentayga or something like that, it would take a huge hit. But they hold their value pretty well from what people bought them for. So that's a good thing if you own one or you're thinking about getting one. They seem to be holding their value and they've been doing for a long time. Now, here we go. Here's the 24. This is an S, and you see 294. In my opinion, if I was in the market for one, if the price difference is not that big, let's say I'm looking at a 2022 or 2021, and it's like 275, and I could get a 24, and it's only like 10 grand more, I just get the 2024 because I think you'll be better off. And that's just an example. I'm not saying that that's the case, but this one is under 300 and it's a 24. And I saw 2022 for 260. So I would compare the difference to see how much of a difference it is to see if it's worth going with the older one versus the newer one. But here we go. We got a 2019. Now this one's really low miles, which is nice, and they want 192. I'm kind of curious to see how low within the range I put what's the lowest one they have within the 300-mile range. Let me see. Okay, here. Okay, so it says here the most expensive is 355,000 within the range I put in. The cheapest one 60. Now I know this one must have been in an accident. There's no way you can get a Urus for 60,000. So let's go ahead and see that one just to confirm what I'm saying here. And I was right. The thing is high mileage and been in a serious car accident. That's the only way you're gonna find one under 100 grand. I mean, the thing's falling apart. Yeah, I wouldn't even buy this thing. I don't even. It probably would cost. I would assume it costs you more than buying one. So that's through the roof. But to get at that price point, it has to be an accident. So now I'm gonna change that because who wants one wreck like that? At least not me. So let's see. Let's see if anything pops up that's decent for 100 grand. Okay, we got another one that popped up. For this one looks a lot better than this one. Let's click on and get a better look. So again, it's another one that's in an accident. And in my opinion, the only way you get one under 100 grand, it's in an accident, you would have to put a lot of money into getting it fixed. So it wouldn't make sense at the prices that I'm seeing right here, because I'm sure you can find one for, let's say, 150 that hasn't been in an accident. That's probably like a 2019. Probably to fix this thing, you probably spend 100 grand. So I don't see the point unless you're someone that's going to be doing the work yourself and you know how to get the parts at a good price. But if you're like me, that you don't work at a body shop, you don't know how to fix it yourself, you're probably going to end up paying more. That's my opinion. Now let me see. So that's me putting 100. Let's bump it up to 150. Let's see if we can find a decent one for 150 or under. Okay, so we got this 2019. That's really high mileage for the vehicle that it is, 66. See if we find anything else. So as you can see, you're not really going to get anything for 150 or under. You can get a nice one for under 200, but you're not. Oh, another wide body kit. What do you guys think of the wide body kit on the Urus? So let's see, 175. 175. All right. Yeah, these things really hold their value. So yeah, I'm not finding anything. No 2019. I guess this one at Tampa Auto Gallery Sales and Leasing. It's 178. Definitely would check the Carfax. This one's pretty nice. RP Exotics. Let's see what else. Yeah, I don't. I think pretty much they're 190 and up. I mean, at the 190, I wouldn't get a 2019. You can get a 2020, 2021. So let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna bump up the price. I'm gonna bump it up to 220. And then I'm sure we're gonna see some nice ones, and we'll see how new we can go for a 2020. Or I'm sorry, see how new we can get up to at that price. So right here, we got a 2022 for 209. I think this one's a good one. It's under 10,000, well, basically 10,000 miles. It's at the Lamborghini dealership at Sarasota. I would check the Carfax, but right there, that's not bad. And let's see what else we can find. This one's a 2020. See that this one's a 2020, right? And they won 204 and has 14,000 miles. I'd rather pay a little bit more and get the 2022. It's 2 years newer and it has less mileage. I think long term you're going to be better off on the 2022. It costs you a little bit more, but you'll probably get more money when you go sell it. And so, in my opinion, is it worth paying the $4,000 or $5,000 extra? Yes, because again, 2 years newer, less mileage. Imagine when you go resell it, it's going to be a newer car. You're going to get more money for it. As long as you maintain and got a good Carfax, that's how it should go. So right here, I don't think that one's a good deal. I think the 2022 one was. This one, 2019, 197 with 40,000 miles. Again, I go for the 2022. This one's a 2019. I still rather go for 2022. And that's what I wanted to see. What's the difference? So basically, I know they came out in 2019. I know they did a facelift in 23 and 24. But again, only a car person's going to notice that. So is it worth getting like a 2019, or how new can you go where it makes sense? Because I always look at the difference in price, right? If I can get a 24 and the price difference is 5 to 10 grand, if I'm in that financial situation, I'd rather pay the additional 5 to 10 grand. Now, if it's a big difference, like $50,000, then no, I would go with the older one, because a lot of people don't think about this. If you're into cars and you're in this financial situation where you can get this high-end car, remember, the newer it is, the more money you're going to get. So if you can find a newer one for a small difference, you're going to be better off when you go get out of it, because if someone's going to go spend a lot of money on a vehicle like this, right? They're going to want it as new as possible with the least amount of miles. So I think if you're looking, for resale, the newer you can get it at the, with the closest to the lower end price. Basically, what I'm saying, if you're seeing that the 2019s are going for, let's say, a decent one for 190 to 200, and you can find one 2 or 3 years newer with low mileage, and it's only 5 to 10,000 more, you're better off going with that one, because the 19 is going to be older, it has more mileage, maybe, or even if it doesn't have more mileage, the year. If you can get one with the same amount of mileage or less newer, and the price difference is not big, it's not a big difference, it makes sense to go with the newer one, and that would be my suggestion. Let's see what else we find. So far, I think that 2022 is the best deal. I am going to go back to and check the Carfax, though, because the reason may be at a good deal. It might have been in an accident. And also, if you do some research, you might find a better one if you extend the search. I only did a 300-mile range. This blue one's really nice, but it has 28,000 miles. So for my small search right now on Auto Trader, the one that I would recommend for myself or a friend. Now I'm not buying a Urus, but I'm just saying if I was, I would check this one out. I like this one. It's a 2022. It's at 10,000 miles. I like that. It's a Lamborghini dealership. See, it doesn't say if it's certified. If it was certified, that'd be a huge plus. But I don't see that in the description. But the cool thing about these high-end cars, exotic cars, usually when they're certified, it's unlimited mileage. So if they say we're gonna certify for 1 year, they won't put like, so most cars when they certify, they'll say we'll give you, an extra year, and it's, and they'll put a mileage restriction. On exotic cars, they don't do that, so that's pretty nice. But you want to read the description too. So I don't see that it's certified. That's one. Also, what I didn't, it says here, new vehicle pricing excludes the $15,000 exotic, well, it's 14,995, basically $15,000 exotic car package. Now that's a scam. That in my opinion is a scam. It started in back when COVID came, where they were selling cars for over MSRP, which I wouldn't pay over MSRP. And then when their inventory started to get better, a lot of car dealerships, what they started doing is, instead of just saying it's a market adjustment charging you over MSRP, they would just say, oh, well, we did window tint, we did this paint protection, and they were charging you a lot more than what it really was worth, and they were forcing it. It's not like they were offering it to you and making it optional. They were saying, well, we already did it to the car, you got to pay for it, and this is how much it's gonna be. And I didn't think that was fair. And it's always good when you're on Auto Trader, or even on one of the other websites like Auto Trader. I recommend reading these small prints. Now, I've never been to this dealership. I don't know what that entails, but seeing that to me looks like, like, for example, a reconditioning fee. Excuse me. It looks like it's something along the lines like that, and I just don't like that. So because that made it look like a good deal, and now it's no longer, in my opinion, a great deal, because you got to add $15,000 to it, plus all these other fees, and maybe I could get a newer one. So it could save you some time looking at that small print. Let's see what else I can find. And now again, I'm just sharing my opinion. And I would definitely get, if you were looking for exotic car, one in the lower mileage. So this one's a 2020, about the 10,000 miles, and says 195. So that doesn't look bad for the current market and from what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and look at the pictures of this one. So it has the upgraded wheels. I don't like black brake calipers. It would have been nicer if they would have did red or something. The seats, they're like a maroon. They don't like a bright red. I would have liked a brighter red, or maybe it's just the photos. But it has a sunroof, so this one has some options. White's a good color in my opinion. Now, one thing you want to do is check out the Carfax. So it looks like they actually listed this car on August 31st at 219, and they've done a few price drops. So that's a good sign. This is a car I would think I can negotiate. I know it's been on the lot for a while. I seen they discounted it over $20,000, so I know they want to, move it, because if they can't sell it soon, they're going to be taking it to auction, and if they take it to auction, they probably will end up losing money. Now it says it's been in no accidents, which is important, especially on a high-end car like this, and it's only had 2 owners, which is not bad for exotic cars, because believe it or not, like, most of the time exotic cars don't get driven that much. They tend to have low miles, and they tend to have a lot of owners. Don't be surprised to see them with 3 or 4, sometimes even more, when it comes to previous owners on the Carfax with exotic cars. But so you want to be smart and read the small print. So let's read the small print, see if there's any charges here, because we found one charge. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad dealership or anything. Again, I never been there. Maybe they, but anytime I read about a package and things like that, I don't like that. So I would definitely do more research, and I tend to stay away from the dealerships I see that. And that's just some suggestions I'm providing. Let me see. So this one, from what I've seen, the dealership's not saying that they're charging any fees. Doesn't mean that they don't. If you were interested in this car and you want to write them an email, I would ask, hey, what are some additional fees? Do you have any fees? Or if I called, I would ask those questions before going in, because that lets you know if it's a good deal. Because a lot of times, what car dealerships are doing, they know that a lot of people search online, so they want to advertise the best price to get your attention and try to get you in, and then they'll try to sell you the car. Before I go to the dealership, I want to know the price on the car. So you want to ask, especially on pre-owned cars, and this applies to all cars. It doesn't have to be a Lamborghini Urus. It could be any car. Hey, I saw this car that I'm interested in on your website. Do you still have it on the lot? And what are your fees? Do you charge a dealer fee? Do you have a reconditioning fee? Now, the reconditioning fee, would apply to the pre-owned cars. Now, some dealerships call it reconditioning fees. Sometimes they call it something else. Basically, what the salesperson is going to tell you, it's a fee that it's that they're going to tell you, well, we had to service the car and get it ready to sell, so it's just the fee that we're charging you that it cost us. A lot of times it's just pure profit for them, because if you're looking at a car that's fairly new, they didn't spend thousands of dollars fixing it up. Sometimes all they do is an oil change and maybe a tire rotation. They'll give it a quick wash and put it right out on the lot. So they don't spend all this money. And before, they used to do the same thing: inspect their vehicle, do an oil change, rotate the tires, and they didn't charge these fees. These fees are something that came out a few years ago around COVID time, just for dealerships to make more profit. So remember, saving money is making money. So try to save money and keep money in your pocket. So those are a few tips. Look out for when you're searching for a car, look out for things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing the screen here. But yeah, I'm a car guy. I like all cars. I like exotic cars. I like economical cars. On Toro, that's what I buy. I buy economical cars and I have fun with them. But I like all cars, right? So I like high end, entry level. I like them all. Today, I just wanted to make a fun video about exotics, but I make videos about all types of cars. If you look at some of my other videos, I made videos about the Ford Fiesta. Should I get one for Toro? So I'm up for all cars. This channel is about, I like to talk about different cars. I like to talk about side hustles. I like to talk about ways to make more money, because a lot of us, that's what we're trying to do. We want to make more money. It doesn't necessarily have to be for cars. It can be for whatever you like. Maybe to have more free time on your hands, whatever it is. If you have any questions for me, let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. I really would appreciate it. And also, if you could do me a big favor, don't forget to subscribe. That'd be great. And I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget to check out the description box and check out those links. Have a good one.